All right, I will send the link to you.
Good. So we can start, Dr. Ania, no problem.
Okay, so today we will do some old things and some new things, very new things, but we will do it slowly, so everyone will be happy, hopefully. So let's start with the old things. Okay, we have a website. Yes, let's have a look. So I might share the screen. Blah, blah, blah. Which website is that? This one. So everyone can see it. Okay. Welcome to Amatak, your station for storytelling. I like it. I wanted to ask you guys if you like it, but I can't help myself.
I don't understand.
Sorry, my Siri.
I wanted to ask you if you like it, but
my Siri is now for some reason.
I found this on the web for Hey Siri. I wanted to ask you if you like it, but I can't help myself. Check it out.
Wonderful. So I really like it. So does anyone, so okay, so we have a title, Welcome to Amatak. I have no idea what's Amatak, but maybe some of you do. And then who are we? What is this website about? Wow. Story 1, story 2, story 3, story 4. Do you want more stories? Contact us. Oh, this is so cool. Sorry, friends. I don't want to be biased, and I don't want, but I get so happy to see amazing things produced by our own group. Does anyone want to talk about it a little bit? Maybe the people who produced it. Who produced that?
Our group, Bong Sophia, Navi, me, and another member, but he is not in the meeting yet.
All right. So can you talk to us about it? Why you created the website this way and what it is? I mean, honestly, sorry for this. I am one of your mentors, and I should be a little bit restrained, but I can't help myself. I mean, Niri, do you like it? Like instantly, look at your smile. Like you can't stop yourself. As much as I would like to say, oh, I don't know, we will talk about it, I can't stop myself from just smiling, because it has all the things that you would like to see on the website. It's imaginative, it's communicating, it's modern, it has pictures which are interesting. So that's from us, from viewers. Niri, what do you think?
Actually, I saw it this morning, so it's impossible to describe it because they take time to do it. Okay, for weeks already, and this morning they just developing again and again. So I'm really proud to see this website.
It's great, isn't it? Okay, but now we will want the group to talk about it, to tell us what they did and why. So the most important thing is why, what they did and why. So Chita, can you talk to us about it? Introduce your.
Yes, I will. So maybe later, Bong Sophia or Navi, if my member want to add more on this, they will. So first of all, I want to say welcome to our website. Our name is Amatak, which in English it is forever. So
okay, can you, Sachita, share it on your screen? Can you share it?
Yes, I will.
And take us through it.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, so is it on, Doctor?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes, we can see it. So the name of the website, at first I want to introduce our website name, and this is the idea from one of our member, Bong Sinet. So this word, of course, in Khmer, we all know it, and it means forever. So I feel like that the word is cool somehow. Also in Khmer, if we take a look at that word, and we try to use like the small slogan thing under it by your station for storytelling. So here we want to mention that like station is a place where people stop and then look around them, see other people. Maybe they can sit on the bench, read something to wait for their next train, bus, or whatever they are waiting for. A lot of people, it's like a gathering space. So sometimes maybe you can see someone and then you can share a story and then that person can share it to another person. So yeah, I wanted something to be like this, like a platform. And on the home page, I just write the message. We just write a message to introduce what is this website for and who are we, because somehow they want to know the people who are behind the website as well. Like you said, we like Dr. mentioned last week that we need to let them know what is this website about, or else they will just go like maybe it is for shop online shopping or whatever that is.
Right.
So yeah, we need to let them know. And the bottom here, on the bottom, the picture here is just the template, because I will change it. We will change it from the picture and also the title when we finish our story. So when we click on the story itself, it will link you to the story that we write it. Yep. So we have, for now, we just use like story 1, 2, 3, or 4, just that, or maybe later we will have more story to add on that. And then for here, just in case they have any question, they want to contact us, they can click on the link. But right now I don't post any email or telephone number in case someone might call us or something. So I just leave it blank. Yep. And then a little bit about here, sorry, I don't know where to move. About us, we write our goals, like why do we create the website. We want to share the story about Cambodia, maybe from all different perspectives, or maybe about the location, tradition, religious, how do Cambodian live, maybe in the city or in the countryside. So we want the other people all around the world to know more about Cambodia, like the lifestyle, things like that. And we have, yes, we have about the author, maybe just a little bit of the introduction from our members, like we have 4 of us. Yes, and the context, the email one I showed earlier. So that's it. That's what I have for now.
Well, it makes sense, right? It is, the website already is a story, and you were able to share it with us. And that's what website is. Website is like a book. It has to have a cover. It has to have some text on it so that people can relate to the cover and know what to expect. And I think you did an excellent job by telling us, this is my book, this is our book, and these are the things you can find here. I think that's excellent. Okay, so does anyone else want to comment? Have your microphones unmuted so we can have a chat. So would anyone want to say something? Remember, here we are learning. So we're talking to each other in order to learn. This is not about we're not praising or criticizing. We're not taking anything personally. Even when I praise now Sochita, nothing personal here. I just am happy not to see what Sochita did, but to see how my teaching was good. So it's all about me. Right, so nothing personal. So let's have a chat a little bit. If you does anyone want to comment? Is everybody else liking it?
តាក់ទងទៅរតនានៅ
style ហ្នឹងធ្វើមកមិនមកចាំមិនស្លាប់វាធ្វើជាមួយហ្នឹងឬអត់ធ្វើទេលោកសាយ
អញ្ចឹងមានតែខ្ញុំយករបស់ខ្ញុំហើយដបងហើយ
So Peony, I
So-
think
So class,
she-
can you give some feedback or opinion about this website? So why you have to keep silent, everyone? Say something, please. Jin Guang, how do you like it? Hello, Guang, are you here? Yeah, can you say something about this website? How do you like it? How is it?
For this website, very interesting. Okay. And Lian says it is covered all the information and interesting about the story of the story.
Okay, thank you. So I would prefer class group number 2, give some idea or comment to class number 1, group number 1, okay? So anyone else, please? Sharon, hi.
Okay, if we are so slow, let's move on to the next group. Okay, so can anyone else share the screen now and show their website? What's the next group? Is there anyone else?
Ratana, you are here, right?
Yes, teacher, yes.
Good. So when he finished his presentation, group 2, please give some comments.
Imagination is more powerful and lasts for centuries. Beautiful.
Afternoon, Guru.
Does anyone see the screen?
I
Yes.
can see.
Yes, thank you. This is the short storytelling from my group. We have 3 members. Actually, this is the homepage and the cover we put all together. We put some phrases that might take some attention to read our first home page before the reader turn to click on the each story. As you read, the imagination is more powerful when it is well written on the papers and can last for centuries. And I'm not quite sure that it might catch some attention if I put the question here. The reason that the reader here on the paper. So when they click on this, then that actually this answer haven't finished yet, but I'm sorry for that too. But we will finish it later, like here, as you see, and here about us. It kind of abstract out the books that reason why this happens. It's like we are trying to do something and quite introduction from us too. Like you can read all this text. Besides that, I and my team have discussed this morning, and we got some features question that could be the question that could include the whole story. It like Mrs. Miss Mekara also put some she suggests that if we put some question the question that could conclude for the whole or might catch the reader attention, so they prefer to click here, so it turns to the page of its story. So if you interested in the first question, second question, or third question, it's my in turn to the next the first story, second or third one. So this is the end of the homepage. We see some authors, the 3 hours. So we also have the bottom here too. If you interested in story 1, you can click into here. So it turns to the story 1 too. 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Actually, we haven't finished all the story yet. We are in progressing. So that's all for our website.
It's beautiful. If I really like it, I like a lot of things here about this website. So it still is under development. It's a template. It's under development, well thought through. Does anyone want to comment on it? Does any other group want to comment, or anyone from the group? Okay, so we're very quiet today. I think, Neri, would you like to comment?
To me, I think for really like that's just personal idea. I really like if the color of the profile photo is a little bit brighter, because to me, I think it's a little bit dark. I do not know whether from the template itself or from the photo that they are uploading. So maybe it is good if it is a little bit bright. So it is give me a good eye catchy to that profile photo.
Yes, I found it too. The Google site sometimes darkens.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah, I think I'm more worried. Yeah, but it's okay. It's yeah. But the structure of the homepage, I quite like the structure of the homepage. It allows the reader to feel the purpose of the website. Like, you know, you're not expecting music on it, right? It's about the message of the website is, if something is written, it can be experienced over and over and over again, right? For centuries. Imaginative text can stay with us forever. Like Buddha's message, when written 2,500 years ago, still is with us. So when written or repeated, that wisdom and imagination can stay with us forever. I quite like that sort of understanding of the concept of a story. Very good, very powerful, very meaningful understanding of what story is. I quite like that. And then the breakdown, why you're here, about us, and what you can find here, I really like, because all the elements introducing the website are present. So nobody is surprised about what to find here. So this is no longer what we had last week. Welcome to our site. We don't have that anymore. So we have progressed quite well. We don't have this generic hello. We are having now websites with a message and with faces I very much like that. So we have progressed quite a lot. Do we have any other group? Neri, is there any other group?
Yes,
have
of
a question.
course. But there's a question from the people. So
Okay.
question, what is that? With long.
Yes,
Who's
the
that with
question.
long?
Teacher, it's a good idea to use our photos as a profile picture. It's a good idea to use our photos as a profile pictures.
I think you will know in a few weeks' time, right? That's something you will solve later on. You don't have to know it today. You know, like once you have your stories written, then you will know better what to put on your profile. I'm letting you know this because you are now learning that a text or a design of the website is a process. Neri, if you can make sure that people understand that, maybe you can say it in Khmer as well. Writing is a process. Designing a website is a process. So what today looks great and makes sense to you, in 3 weeks' time, you may change your mind. And then that's good. So it's not like I can give you the answer. It's something that you will ask yourself for a few weeks until you know your answer. And this is why we justify the design. We justify the design to tell each other why we have our pictures, why we have this specific title, because this is what we intended to do. So the idea, maybe a better question is not whether it is okay, but a better question is, do you think, Ania, that having our photographs is reinforcing the message of the website? Are our pictures, are our photos reinforcing the message of the website? I think that's the question. So this is the question that you may need to answer yourselves. Are our pictures reinforcing the message of the website? That's the question to ask. I will type it in the chat.
Thank you. With long, may I know who are you? Because I'm not familiar with this name. With long?
Bomani teacher.
Yeah?
Bomani.
Money. Wow. You know, you make me surprised. I saw that I have a new student here in this class. You don't have your camera on and then you start asking questions with your name in Khmer. You should introduce yourself first, all right, before you ask questions.
Okay, so did everyone understand my advice? Every website has a message. Imagination is powerful, especially when it comes to us in a well-written text, right? Stories are powerful. When stories are powerful, their message lasts for centuries. So I think I like that. So then if you want your photos or not, that's something you need to decide. You can have chickens. Did everyone hear the chickens?
Yeah, they are raising kitchen.
Okay, so basically, so that's something you have to decide, and you have to ask you to this. In order to decide, you ask yourself the following question: are our photos helping the message of the website? Are our photos reinforcing the message of the website? So, for example, can you stop sharing, please? Can you please stop sharing? Okay, so I'll just show you something. Do you see this picture? I will remove the text. Oh, okay, okay. Do you see this picture here?
Yes.
What do you see?
A locust.
Right, locust. And there's something else that you can't see. But if there is a locust there or grasshopper, then clearly the story next to it, right, next to it,
Yeah.
will be about the grasshopper. Right?
Correct.
So the pictures we insert, so the pictures reinforce the message of the story, of the message of the website, right? So the pictures increase, what we say in English, increase redundancy, right? If you want to look beautiful or sexy, what do? You wear a particular type of clothing, you put the makeup on, you do your hair a specific way that in your culture looks wonderful, right? So whether it is your clothes or your hair or your makeup or your shoes, they together increase redundancy, which means make increasingly clear the meaning of your clothing or of your appearance, which is today I want to look like this, tomorrow I want to look differently, so you will have different type of clothing. So whatever pictures you put on the website, they reinforce the message of your website. So students will have, so the authors of the website, the designers have to answer the question, not so much me. I mean, I like the photos, I'm happy, but because you are still having this question, that means that you do not know, and you have to know. The designer has to know. Can the designers, whoever designed it, can they defend it? Can they say why they have pictures for their website?
Ratana, can you say about that photo?
Yes, teacher. Hello, teacher, and hello, classmate again. Actually, the teacher as our cover of the homepage. We took it as personal, and it. I and my team just think about if we put the picture of us or some activity that might be added into the homepage, so the reader, or the audience might I mean, after they see the homepage, they will turn into the author, the author at the below of the homepage. So in that case, they can read some of the word below there and click on the story. It's like the bottom of the bottom under each author, like read story 1, story 2. It just yeah.
So you have your faces. You have your faces, and also I felt your photos in the header, in the banner, were fine because you believe. So the statement, if a story is powerful, its message can last for centuries, right? I would have rewritten, okay, I'm not going to talk about it now, but if a story is powerful, it can last for centuries. And I think this is your belief. So you can put your photos there because this is what you have, this is what you think, and that's your statement. And therefore, if you have your pictures of your faces on the banner, and then the writing, it means that you own that statement. You believe that that a powerful story can last forever. And I like that. for centuries. I like that. So having photos there is fine, but it's not up to us to decide. It's the designer that has to understand the message. The designer has to understand why they put specific things on the website, right? Is this reinforcing our message? Okay, we just, if we don't have, Chen you wants to ask a question.
Mani, do you have another question? Because your hand is on.
No more question, teacher.
Oh, good.
Put your hands down.
Try to work out now how to lower the hand. I have no idea how to raise it or lower it, so it's kind of like beyond me. All right, so do we have another group presenting a website?
Yeah, we have 2 more groups.
Oh, great.
So welcome Vanit then. Vanit, can you show your website? So whoever with Vanit, please. Because I just know that Vanit is here and she probably introduced her group right here.
Hello, teacher.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, teacher không very so teacher.
Cuồng, okay, cuồng.
Teacher wanted you present on our website. No.
So Cuồng, you better do it because she give you the floor.
And teacher Harry and class. And here is our website that and we are focusing on learning English language. Speaking.
Sorry to interrupt you, Cuồng. Your service is not quite well. Can anyone in this group do the presentation, please? Because I cannot hear it. Vanit, can you do it?
Okay, teacher.
Good.
This is my website that we make it that related to learning and teaching English. That we have to a mission to help the student and training to like that.
Could you, darling, please share it? Could you share it so we can all look at it?
So Vanit, you can use your email, of course, to share it. Let's continue, Vanit.
Yes, sir. And now we cannot be still working, not completed. Just make the story that we will to write and to publish it. Yes, that the story that we will write may have speaking, listening, and writing. Also, in the website we have the about us
that we will to show our group from, and we will why we do it also. Yes.
Okay, so then Vinit, so your website will be about, what's the message of the website? What's the general message of the website? What will people find there?
So from my understanding, I think that they want to tell anyone who want to study or learn writing, speaking, or reading, they probably go to their website and see the way or the method of teaching and learning. Because as from the message, they say teaching English, whatever, I forgot about teaching and learning English.
Yeah, good. All right, so can we move to the, it was lovely. So I love the pictures too. So can we move to the next group?
Okay, the next one is Zaro website. Since Zaro is not here, so who else works with Zaro, please present. So who is working with Zaro?
Yes, hello, teacher.
Money.
Teacher Moni.
Teacher.
Oh, okay, Moni.
Yes, I am under the. I'm in the processor.
Okay, can you show the website?
I'm using iPhone, so I'm not using a computer. And it takes 3 minutes to open the computer.
Okay,
Yeah, we can wait.
4 minutes. Wait, next time.
We don't have anyone else from your group? Can you send us? Can you send us? Can you?
Two of them are.
Can you send us the link?
I would say that I did a little bit of my part, so should be next time. Kita.
Yep.
Kita, you can show it.
Oh, I already showed it earlier, so I don't need to show it again.
All right. Teacher, also.
Okay, so maybe he want another groups to show it because he's not ready yet. So Tatia, would you mind sharing your progress since you are here and you are working on that this morning?
Yes, I can, but not really much progress.
That is fine.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so can you take us first to the homepage and explain to us the homepage?
For me, I put it's just about life. I'm talking about life story related to someone, biography, what they have faced difficulties, and it's like life of someone, or it can be an animal.
I really love that picture. I don't know where you found it, but I just love it.
Actually, I take it from the Google image search.
It represents life as stories.
Yes.
I just like it because life is stories, right? I was
Yes.
born, I lived, I married, I loved, I worked. I mean, life is stories and in the air, like thrown in the air, like our life, sort of in time and space. Just love that picture. It probably is one of the best pictures I've seen in my life. I really
Yes,
love it. So beautiful choice. And the computer, which means we type it, it's our agency there. We type this, we type the stories of our life. I quite
Yes.
like it. Just love that.
Yes. It's about life. So my member, my member and I are going to write about life story.
I will ask you a question. How authentic is your website? Because on the one hand, okay, authenticity. You want that website to be for people, not for teacher, right? This website is to communicate things for other people, not for me and Neri. So I'm wondering about the choice of words you use. For example, you say our group members, probably plural should be there. So our group members and the other people, remember group one, they talked about authors. Why did you decide to talk about group members, not authors? Remember the other people had authors, and so they were talking about authors. And you are talking about group members.
I have no idea because we're gonna design about that.
Okay, so it's not finished yet. But
yes, it's not. Yes, it's
right.
not finished yet. It's just still a draft.
Yeah, but it's something to think about. If you see yourself always as a student and the website is a school project, then you talk about yourself as a student or a group member. But really, the point of this website is to produce something powerful for someone else. Right? So the audience is not Neri and it's not me. The audience, I mean, we will assess it, but really you're writing this for other people. So you present yourself as an author or as I don't know, whatever, but not necessarily using, not as a student, because I mean, you can, I'm happy you can, I mean, obviously you can, but it's something for you to think about. Is this website to communicate stories written by us as authors or written by us as NIE students? So that's something you may want to reflect on. Okay, so think about it, whether you want to say our group members or whether you want to say our team or the authors or I don't know, maybe there are other words which will capture the theme of your website, which is life is stories. You know, I love that theme. You know, life is stories. Welcome to life, and life is stories. Just love it. Just that is just an absolute winner. Beautiful. All right, so show us what you have. You have some stories there. Can you scroll it down a little bit? Okay, so you've got teacher and you have someone else there and you've got space for another person. Can we go to story one? So what's happening here? Can you tell us? I see you have some text. So what were you thinking here?
It's just about life of someone successful in both study and also business. Like
Okay,
he
I get
own, yes, just a additional fictional character.
Okay, I see it. I see. That's beautiful. I like that idea. I really like it. Really like it. Very powerful. Very nice. Neri, do you have some comments?
My question is, can they write about us, about me, or about you?
They can write whatever they wish. You know, sometimes you have to give up and let other people live. We don't have a control over other people. Even our students, they can write about whatever they want. They are the authors, and that's the power of the pen, of paper. You write, you use the pen and paper to write whatever is on your mind and in your heart. And that's how it is. So I think it's beautiful. So they can write about you, me, about fictional businesswoman, anybody, anything.
Teacher, can I have a question?
Yeah.
All right. A few minutes ago, you mentioned, oh no, teacher mentioned someone's background, like he wrote about someone's life, or yeah. But I think in order to capture the interest of the audience, if we are writing someone that who is not popular, who is not well known, how we can hook the interest of the readers or the audience?
Well, this is what we will talk about today. That's exactly the problem, right? So at this very moment, if you look at this page, at this story, I didn't even know what it was about. So we were asking the designers to tell us. So we were explained that this is a fictitious story, I forgot the word. Anyway, it is a fictitious story, and it is about a business person who was successful and will just write that thing. But it's not clear instantly, right? So that's something that will need to be improved. Because at this very moment, as you said, there is no apparent hook, right? So as you create your website, like with the book, when you create the website and when you create your stories, your job is to keep your reader on your website. Now, I know that some of you may think, oh, it's just a school project. It's not a school project. You will go to school and you will teach students not to succeed in school, but to succeed in life, right? So when you go to school, you want your students to learn how to succeed in life, which means you will have to teach them skills like how to write interesting stories, how to well design websites which have a hook. Exactly. So I think the whole concept of life being a story or stories, I think it's excellent. I love it. That really just got me. It got my attention. However, when we look at this story one, I think this is a very good question which was asked, that at this very moment we don't have, instantly we can't see a hook. Overview of what? Right? Overview of what? We have this powerful picture of a woman here. It's a good picture. I like the picture of a woman in the shadow, right? The sun lighting her up. That's great. I love it. But it is meaningless. We don't know what that picture represents. Overview of what? So I think it's good. These are what in English is called placeholders, right? We have a template, and then we will think how to do it powerfully. So I think we are ready now to move to part 2 of today's class, and we will talk exactly about these hooks. Okay, so if you can stop sharing now, we could. Do you have a second story, or this is just it?
Just it, teacher.
Okay, so this is beautiful, and it's this is a process. So we will now learn how to progress. I am extremely happy. I don't know about Neri, we will ask her. But from what I have seen, I'm absolutely delighted with the development. I think all websites had a message. All websites were thoughtfully designed. I like the banners. The banners were so well thought through. And the messages, like even this one, so powerful, so lovely. Now we have to create stories that will speak to the message of the website, that will have a hook, right? They will have to have a hook. So we will do this. Last week, yeah, Neri?
Teacher,
Yes?
hello. If I'm not wrong, you are modeling us the life stories, but not other topics. We have many topics to pick up and choose that based on our own decision. That's why Teacher Nereus also suggests me to find the topics like tourism or cultivation or other topics. But basically, you are motivating us to choose life stories as a model for designing a website. So what is the purpose? What you want us to do for?
No, I mean the website. I mean, if you work for a television station, you decide what story you will write. Now, this, I don't know who asked the question, but this particular website, right? Can someone scroll to the header? I want to see the header.
Yeah.
So this one doesn't say visit Cambodia. This particular header is not very meaningful. I think the home page was more meaningful, right? The home page was about life stories. Can we go to home page? Right, welcome to life. It's about life is stories. It doesn't have to be about someone's life. It could be, our story could be, the amazing thing that happened to me or to someone or to an animal, could be about animals, could be anything, right? Life, everything, whether it's an apple tree or it's all life, and life is stories. Apple tree doesn't tell stories about itself. You tell a story about apple tree, right? So the author is society, it's people. So there is no particular topic, but if your website talks about stories that form our life, right? We live in stories. Our life is stories. You need to think about it because the message is profound. Life is stories. So if you go to story 1, please. Story 1, can you click? Right, life story. So at this very moment, this is not really meaningful. So this title means nothing, right? So if we, so this is what someone was asking. There's no hook. Life story, then the picture of the woman, then the overview. It's kind of like a little bit what they call it's basically things are not connected, right? But we will learn about it today. So I'm not really fussed about it. Yeah. Did you want to ask something?
No, I didn't, teacher.
Okay, so at this very moment, we know that this is just a template and things will be done better, right? As we are learning, so things will be done better. So we will learn how to make it interesting. So we might just stop sharing and move on today.
Yes, teacher.
Do we have anybody from the team that was showing the website last week about students and the tires and the garden?
Yeah.
Do we have someone with that website?
Yeah, she's here.
Can Can we see the link?
Sila,
Yes,
is it
teacher.
okay? Yeah, please share your website again. Show it.
Sorry, teacher. Now my group has changed our topic, so we
Oh.
just on it again. You told me to change the topic to like too much with my other members. So now we just working on it.
Oh, okay. So Dr. Ania, since Sela has changed her website already, so do you still want to see a new website?
Yeah, I
or-
like this. I like the story about the tires and the plastic bottles. I really like that topic. Can we just have a look at the website?
Sela, I got mượn tích tả chán.
Nè có đâu ai nè.
ប៉ុន្តែដូរ website យើងនៅដដែលចាស់ដដែលយើងគ្រាន់តែដូរថែម website មួយទៀតតែ
អត់ផងខ្ញុំបដូរអាហ្នឹងចេញ
ចោលហ្មង
គេគួរឲ្យដូរអស់លី
Okay, Dr. Anya, it was no longer here exist in her website because it has changed. Everything
All right.
completely changed.
Okay, does anybody remember how we changed the title of that website? So the story had something like teachers created a garden from plastic, right? What was it? From plastic and tires. And then we changed it into what? Do you remember? Does anybody remember how we changed it?
Yes, I have a note here.
Oh, just wait. Does
Using-
anybody just wait? Does anybody from students remember? So the website talked. The title of the story started with teachers. And can someone remember what we did?
And then we change the teacher to students, start a sentence with students.
And why do you remember why we did that?
In order to show them who did the learning through the farming.
Right, in order to show, so we have to be very precise. We started with students in order to illustrate the purpose of the garden, right? So the story is not interesting when it is about how teachers created a garden from plastic bottles. Everybody is thinking that teachers are loony or bored. Right? It's unclear why you are writing. So you always, when you write, you need to think, why am I writing about it? Why am I writing? So purpose. So that the teachers did not create garden from plastic bottles and tires, right? They didn't create the garden. We agreed that teachers did that for students to learn something. So the whole purpose of the story was to communicate that intention. So we did something like, Neri can correct me, we said something, students learning about, what was it? Sustainability. How did it go? Do you remember, Neri? Students learning about sustainability, what was it?
By using waste material, as I remember.
Waste material, something like that, right? I can't remember exactly, but it wasn't about the tires, and it wasn't, so the plastic bottles and tires are interesting. Or sustainability. So the title was not bad. Teachers created the garden, but it kind of didn't have what the Sferien school article had, which was about students learning about, I think it was students learning about repurposing waste material, you know, so learning about sustainability by repurposing waste material, learning about sustainability by repurposing waste material, something through something like that. So I can't remember. We worked the whole hour on it. You can go to the video from last week and watch it. But so that's what we did. We were working very hard to learn to think. We didn't work hard to change the title. We worked hard to think what needs to be in the title, right? The intention, why the title, the job of the title is to attract attention. Teachers doing garden is interesting. But if we focus on students, then everybody goes like this, oh, what's there to learn? Right? Students, it's kind of more interesting. Oh, kids are learning about something important. Kids are learning. So parents relate, other teachers relate, other schools relate, because this is something about doing something for students to benefit. So we decided last week that if we focus on students and their learning, it might be, I'm not saying it is, but it might be more eye-catching than what the teachers did. We also said that maybe title could be a little bit shorter, going with the title over 2 lines. It's a little bit difficult. People don't read like this, right? People read boom, 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 just quick. So you want to have words in your title that are the most important words, that communicate the intention. All right, I might share a screen today with you and we do a little bit of learning. I will take you through a particular lesson today that my undergraduate students here in Australia do. Every semester when they study with me, we're doing this particular thing, okay? So we're learning something more today. So everyone is seeing my screen.
Yes.
Beautiful. I'll just put it here for a moment. I just lost that story. I don't know where it is. Maybe we can find it on our website, which is here. Students with learning through farming, right? Students, this is a story about students. And look what is at the picture, children, right? So it catches attention. You as a parent, you care. You want to see what innovative this school is doing. So students here and students on the picture. And farming, oh my God, school is doing farming. So really key pointers.
Dr. Ania, you are showing us the story of the grasshopper.
Okay, so you can't see what I have, right?
No, we are seeing the story of grasshopper right now.
How funny. I want to show my screen, but it is showing you this. So, all right. So every time I show different thing, I have to change. All right. So what we have, students, and on the picture are students, right? Students and farming are a new combination of words. That's what makes this article so interesting. So kids are learning about farming, like, you're kidding me? So, right, so this is very catching. So whatever the school, so this is not about that the school created a project. This is about students learning about farming. So you can notice that the authors focus on students, not what the teachers did, because parents are interested in the outcome. And the outcome is kids are learning through doing, right? So that was their decision. I am not saying this is correct, but we are learning from other people how to think of our own titles, right? So you may not like this title. That's okay, but we are learning, and then on the basis of this story, we will think how to create our own title. So we have students here, and we have students on the picture, right? It's only on the second picture that we have the picture of the garden, right? It doesn't begin with the garden. It begins with kids learning through doing, right? So that's the moral of the story, right? And then it's more grounds of a school. You see, basically they learn by doing. And that's why, because it's the moral of a story, we will come back to it. It's the moral of a story. I have this actually on Andesmela. Does everybody know what's a moral? I will show you what's a moral. Where is it? I will show you what it is. Ah, moral. Right? Does everybody know what it is?
Yes, they do.
Good. So because the moral of a story there is that children are learning through doing, right? That's the moral. The reason why people wrote this story was to communicate that children are engaging in practical skills, and that's how they learn. Consequently, the title was about students, and that's why the first picture was with students. Okay, so we're gonna do something completely different today. We're learning about titles and texts and everything. So let us have a look at the grasshopper story. Right? Do you know what is the grasshopper story? I'll show you. So I might just have to, I'll give you some history here. Just 1 second. Do you see this website?
Yes, we do.
Does everybody know what's Aesop? Aesop's fables. Do you know who was Aesop?
I don't have the idea. Maybe anyone else? Do you know what is that? Is the best to prepare for the day of necessity?
Okay, so you don't know. Do you know what's a fable?
I think it's a story normally about animal, and it also contains like lesson that you can learn from it.
Yes, that's what the fable is. Let me have a look. If you can still see? I don't know. Rung Jin Tin. I don't understand that. Okay, can you see my screen with that Google Translate?
Exactly, you see it.
Yes, teacher.
Right, so that's what fable is. It's a story usually about animals or with animals in it, and it has a moral, right? It has this thing. Okay, what I will do with you today, we will learn something about the fables. So how old are fables? Do you know? Do you know when fables were written?
It was a long time ago that the old people always told us the story.
Thousands and thousands years old, right? Thousands. People think that they are just 2,000, maybe 3,000. I think they come to us from long time. Aesop was a Greek author. He lived at the same time as your Buddha lived. And he took these old stories and he created fables out of them. I'm not sure whether he has written them in paper. Maybe he has written them down. But anyway, he is seen by Western culture as the author of all these fables, all these stories that come with the moral. So this particular story is called The Ant and the Grasshopper Fable. Okay, I'll just put it here. This is the title. And we will do some work. And we will today think for ourselves why it is called The Ant and the Grasshopper Fable, okay? Does anyone know why it is? It is called the Ant and the Grasshopper Fable.
To me, it sounds similar to my story because it's about an insect. It's like as small as, no, maybe smaller than the bee, and it's always fly and happy. It does not want to find food.
That's right. So yeah, okay, but why? Okay, so let me read the story to you, okay, and then we will have a chat. So here's the story. In a field, one summer's day, a grasshopper was hopping about, chirping and singing to its heart's content. An ant passed by, bearing along with great toil, big effort, with great toil, an ear of corn he was taking to the nest. "Why not come and chat with me?" said the grasshopper, "instead of toiling and moiling in that way." Working so hard, instead of working so hard, toiling and moiling. "I am helping to lay up food for the winter," said the ant, "and recommend you do the same." "Why bother about winter?" said the grasshopper. "We have got plenty of food at present." But the ant went on its way and continued its toil. Toil means work, hard work. When the winter came, the grasshopper had no food and found itself dying of hunger, while it saw the ants distributing every day corn and grain from the stores they had collected in the summer. Then the grasshopper knew it is best to prepare for the days of necessity. So what happened to the grasshopper? Does anyone want to tell us what happened to the grasshopper?
It's gonna die of hunger.
Does anyone else that do the students know? Can they talk? Come on, friends. You're studying English language. You need to.
Yeah, teacher, the grasshopper will live stuffily, especially no food, teacher, no food to eat. Will
It
die.
will
Yeah.
starve to death, right?
Yeah, teacher.
Yeah. So why is the story? Why is the title of a story The Ant and the Grasshopper Fable?
The ant and the grasshopper.
Why is this the title?
Because the whole story really focus on these two kinds of animals process. Like one is really hardworking, another one always singing, don't find food, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so the grasshopper was hopping about, chirping and singing. So what does that
Yes.
mean? What does that mean? The grasshopper was hopping about, chirping and singing to its heart's content. What does that mean?
Is that the way that the story compare to the real society as human being? Some people, they enjoy like they overjoy, and then finally it caused a lot of problem. Yeah, like they overjoy,
So what you're saying is grasshopper was careless,
Yes.
was not planning ahead, whereas the ant was not living in the moment, was thinking and planning ahead. So yes, there was sun shining, but the ant knew that winter is coming, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So what's the title indicating to us? Can anybody comment? So why, pardon me, I'm trying to do something and I don't think I did well. So why is the title? So what did you say? It compares, right? Did you say the title compares? Did you say that?
Yes, yeah. It compared to the real society, yeah.
Well, not yeah, but the title also contrasts. What is the title contrasting?
It's about the title contrast.
What's the title contrasting?
Contrast.
You don't know what contrast means?
I know what the different. Is it like the contrast?
Okay, I know how to do it.
Can I try, teacher?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know.
I think the two animal in the title.
Kamritpner. Kamritnor. That's what it means. Contrast. Can you check in the chat?
Yeah, teacher. Contrast.
Okay. So the story is not really about the ant and the grasshopper. The story is about so the title says The Ant and the Grasshopper Fable. But the story is not really about the ant and the grasshopper, correct?
Yes, teacher, yes.
So it is not about the ant and the grasshopper. It is what about? Anyone else? Come on, guys, help out.
To me, I think it was about the attitude of these two animals.
Right. So the story is about the attitude. It's contrasting or comparing planner versus a lazy or a careless attitude. Right? That's what it is about. It's comparing a planner with the careless attitude, right?
Yes, teacher.
So you can see that the title didn't have to be the Ant and Grasshopper Fable. The title could, if you were guys, 2 weeks ago, if you were creating a title for this fable, you could probably written something like, the grasshopper dies because of the winter. But that's not the message, right? You could have, if you are not trained well, you could have written the grasshopper dies because of the winter. But that's not the job of the fable, right? Can anyone tell me why this title is better? I just have to do something. Why this title is better than the second title? Why is the first title, The Ant and the Grasshopper Fable, better than, for example, The Grasshopper Dies Because of the Winter? Do you think this title would have been good, this one? So this is title number 1, which is the title, the correct title. Do you think this title would have been bad, number 2? Do you think number 2 title would be bad?
Number 2, just me, can you repeat your question, please? Like the title of number 2, it's
better or worse?
We should choose number 1. Number 2, it's like there's the title number 2. It's like we focus only one side of character, isn't it? Yeah.
Very good. Who said that? Absolutely brilliant. Exactly. Because the fable is comparing, right? The fable is comparing planner against the careless attitude, right? So you want both. You want both. That's so good. Really good. My undergraduate students can't see it, right? It takes them 2 hours to see it. Very good. So what we are learning now, that the title, but look at that. Look at this here. So that's the message, right? So this is what's compared. Compared is planner as opposed to a careless attitude, right? Can some, I don't know, anyway. So planner as opposed to careless attitude. And this contrast is the subject of the entire fable. Okay. So let us play. Where do we learn that being careless is a bad outcome? Where in the fable do we learn that being careless is a bad outcome? Where do we learn it?
We learn it from the story.
But at which moment? Which sentence? Is there a specific sentence that shows to us that being careless is a bad outcome?
Is it the last sentence of the text? It conveyed the message that the grasshopper knew the thing that he done in the past was wrong.
Right. So so basically, what do we have here? Is it this one or this one or both?
I think below one.
This one?
Yes, it's below one is the best way. Yeah.
Right. So that's the lesson. That's the lesson, right? That the grasshopper learned. But we are learning that that being careless has bad outcomes, because when winter came, the grasshopper had no food and found itself dying of hunger. Right? So this is where we learn the outcome of all of this, right? That's the outcome. First, the grasshopper is happy and all is well. And then when time passes, we are learning the outcome of being careless. And the outcome is, when conditions changed, the grasshopper found himself dying.
Yes.
Right. So, and this is the lesson. What do we call this lesson in a fable? This is called the moral, right? So
Yes.
every fable has a moral, and the moral can have a different wording, but the structure of the moral always is, it is best to prepare, it is best to love your friends, it is best to be loyal, right? So different fables have different morals, but they always have the same structure. They teach you what is best to do. It's best to, when you remember, there's a fable when a fox tries to get food from the crow, the bird. So to do that, the fox makes the bird talk. And when the bird starts talking, the cheese drops and the fox grabs the cheese and runs away. And the moral is, it is always best to keep your mouth shut when you eat. Don't talk at the same time as you eat, right? So it's sort of moral, little stories for children. All right. So it is always best. It is always best. If you eat, focus on eating. If you talk, focus on talking. All right. So it's always best. All right. So what I might do with you now, so we kind of are learning a little bit more about the title, right? So the title, The Grasshopper Dies Because of the Winter, it's not a bad title, but as you said, it's not really appropriate. Because what we want to do is the point of the story is to compare planning and being careless, planning and being careless. So these two attitudes are put in the title, right? So the fable is not about the end, and it's not about the grasshopper. The end and the grasshopper simply symbolize, they are symbols for planning and being careless, right? But the authors, because it's a fable, and like someone said, fable or story, when well written, can have a message for centuries, right? When well written, it can have a message for centuries. So to write it well, instead of talking about plena and comparing it with being careless, what they did, they changed plena into an ant, and then they changed grasshopper, then they changed being careless into grasshopper. In Europe, where the story comes from, in Europe, grasshoppers only lived through summer and then they died. Right, so we have 4 seasons in Europe, and every winter all grasshoppers die. Right, so the author Aesop, who was the author here, Aesop used the figure or the symbol of the grasshopper in a picturesque way to describe the attitude of being careless, right? So it was well thought out. If you are a child, you think, oh, the reason why the title is The Ant and the Grasshopper, it's because the story is about the ant and the grasshopper, but it's not. Like one of you said, I can't see your names, like one of you said, it's about the 2 perspectives. This is so bloody ingenious, whoever said it, so smart, right? You want these 2 perspectives in the title because that's what the story is about. The story is about 2 perspectives on life. Oh, look at this, 2 perspectives on life, 2 perspectives on life. One of you has the website about life. Maybe one of your stories, story 1, could have a title, 2 perspectives on life, 2 perspectives on something else. Think about it, right? So look at this, where from the grasshopper story, we're learning, oh, our story is about life. So maybe we could make it more interesting, 2 perspectives on lives. And you can actually compare maybe a businesswoman with some other character and see what moral you will get from it, right? You have a businesswoman and some other person and see how you can write a story to get an interesting message out of it. What's the message? Okay, so we're pretty good today with the titles, and let me take you through a little exercise. I'll do it quicker today than I do it with my students, okay? Because I want to actually get you to another point. And I want to do the 2 points today I want to cover. Okay. So a lot of my students are very focused on being grammatical, right? A lot of students from Cambodia want to be very grammatical, but notice, I could have created a sentence I would just, you know what, I would just cross them out, all these. Look at that. The first sentence doesn't have to be about in a field, one summer's day, a grasshopper was hopping about, chirping and singing to its heart's content. It's a long sentence. Let's make it grammatically correct, but shorter. Tell me now if the meaning is the same. A grasshopper was hopping about. So the fable could have been, instead of saying in a field one summer's day, it could have been a grasshopper was hopping about. Would you like that? Is it the same? Now, this is something to think about, right? So this is where we're learning quite a lot today. So why did we have all the other words? Why didn't we just have a grasshopper was hopping about? Come on, friends, come on board, tell me. I'll go to the slide where I crossed out the things, right? So if we cross out the, oh, pardon me. If we cross out these things in a field, one summer's day, if we don't have them, then the text is like this. A grasshopper was hopping about. Why do we have in a field one summer's day, chirping and singing to its heart's content? Why do we have those words? We need to find an answer. Neri, can you stimulate the discussion, please?
Yes.
Ask
Okay, let me
student-
ask.
Ask every
Yeah.
student and see what they think.
So maybe I should ask Lab because she's here. Lab, can you give your opinion? Since you are silent from the beginning and Makra as well. Makra and Lab, are you with me?
Teacher, can you ask again, please?
So say something then.
No, nobody has any idea? So many smart students and nobody has any idea? Why don't we have just that? Why not just say a grasshopper was hopping about? Why do we have in a field one summer's day, a grasshopper was hopping about, chirping and singing to its heart's content? Why so many words?
So Lab, what are you saying? Why do we have so many words here in that sentence?
I can say, yeah.
Yes, Monday, please. Of course.
Yes, because it is a fable. So we narrate the stories to the students, to the children, because one picture display more meanings, and the meaning here refers to the sentences that draw the student attention or draw the readers, draw the audience.
Okay, anyone else? So why do you think do we have a word in a field? Why do we have this phrase in a field?
So can I say something or you want the student?
No, I want students to think because they will be writing their stories and they need to write, they need to know why they use certain words.
Okay, come on, everyone. Why you are silent then?
Why do we have in a field? I mean, we could get rid of it. Why is there in a field?
So Makra. Come on, Makra. What do you think? Why do you have the word in the field, in the summer, like that?
Sorry, teacher, I have no idea about this.
Well, it's very interesting, right? Very interesting. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Why do we have the phrase one summer's day?
Personally speaking, when we want to narrate something like a story, is a fable, we always introduce like once upon a time in one summer's day, something like to, in order
Okay,
to
so
draw.
why do you, so you think that if we had once upon a time, that would have been just as good, right?
Yeah, it was once upon a time, maybe a very long time. But if you say summer's day, with very specific time.
So why do we have summer's day here?
Because normally, grasshopper is always on the right field. The right field here, the place, and summer day is time. The time that we collect the plant.
All right. So what you're saying is in summer is harvest. Is it what you're saying? Harvest is summertime. Is it what you're saying? I'm not quite sure why can someone clearly explain to me could the fable be started with once upon a time? Why did the author put summer's day?
Because once upon a time, we do not know exactly when, just one in a time.
Right.
We just say one summer.
Neri, give students. And what do the students say about summer?
Yeah, because they do not talk.
Okay, so why summer? Why do we have summer here? Come on, friends. Think.
So can you say anything? It's very hard for you to participate in this afternoon. The chair and Sujita, please then have them.
Sorry, teacher, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if my internet is unstable or your slide. It's not so clear. I cannot hear you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the question is, why do we have to write in one summer day, not once upon a time?
Okay,
so saying right there.
Oh, okay. So for my opinion, I think that we use the word summer day in order to show the exact time that the story happened. Because if we use one upon a time, we don't know like which season, because here they want to focus on like the summer that the grasshopper didn't do anything to prepare for winter, I think.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's my opinion.
That's very good. And this is how you are learning now to be very precise with your explanations. The whole story is about comparing planning, not planning, summer, winter, right? So we have summer here, right? We have summer here because very soon we will have winter, right? If in summer you are careless, then in winter you die. It's like getting money today from work and spending everything today. And then for the rest of the week or month, you have nothing to eat, right? So it's the same. So the ant and grasshopper present contrast, planning, not planning. And summer is on purpose here to contrast with winter. In winter, you harvest your savings. But in summer, you have to save. When there is plenty, you need to save. All right, so we're very good with summer and winter, right? We got it right. But why did the author say in a field? So we know that once upon a time was not good enough, so we remove it. But why in a field?
Maybe it's about the location where they gather the food.
Okay, but why not in Miller's storage? Miller is the person who, do you know what's a miller? Miller is the person who collects grain. So in Miller's shed, right? It could have been in Miller's shed, right? So it could have been in someone's storage place, right? Miller is a person who
No,
yeah.
We can say that we use in the field because field is the place that the grasshoppers collect the food.
But just wait. Miller collects. Miller is the person who has a storage place where they have a lot of grain, a lot. So the story could have been happening in Miller's shed where they have plenty of grain, right? So why is it not happening in a shed with lots of grain? In a shed with lots of grain, Grasshopper was hopping about. Why doesn't the story talk about the grasshopper in a shed full of grain, right? In a shed full of grain, a grasshopper was hopping about. Why isn't it in a shed full of grain? Why in the field? You know the answer, but you need to say it explicitly so we can learn from it. Why does the story begin in a field? Why doesn't it say in a shed full of grain, a grasshopper was hopping about? Shed is like a hut, storage place. That's what shed is, a storage place where people keep grain. They can keep that grain there the whole winter. What does the field represent?
Field presence. We can say the place that the grasshopper and ants find the food by themselves. Show about attitudes of the grasshopper and the ants. Because when we are careless, we don't find the food, we will die in the next season. So field here we can find the food by themselves. The grasshopper and ants. If we go to the shade, the foods are kept by people. They're easy to they cannot find the food by themselves for the grasshopper and ants.
What does the field in? Can you think of word, emotional words? Emotion. Can you think of an emotion that field represents? So that's abundance in summer, but nothing. Scarcity. Scarcity is the word. Scarcity in winter, right? Abundance. Abundance is compared with scarcity, right?
Yes.
Field represents emotionally. Emotionally, field represents abundance, sun, lots of grain in summer. But in winter, there's nothing, scarcity. Scarcity means nothing. So warm as opposed to versus cold, or plenty versus nothing. Right. So field, now people who are writing about life, field is like life. Sometimes there's a lot, and sometimes, so field is field, and sometimes there's nothing. So field is like chaos. Sometimes life is like chaos, right? Jungle, animals, winter, lots of seasons, especially in Europe, lots of season, cold, grain, nothing. Sometimes it's warm, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's peaceful, sometimes it's war. Field is like the real life, right? Real life, where sometimes we have grain and sometimes we have winter. So field is insecure, right? It's insecure. And that's why you have to save up, because field is like life, it's insecure. So you have to create your security. So in a field, so we begin in a field, and I will remove now the color. We begin with the field to show it's where the insecurity lives, right? Field emotionally means insecure, right? So if field means insecurity, then thinking person has to now create security, correct? So in a field, now we know, in a field means where life is, real life, insecurity, and sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, right? So the story begins when it's what? Warm, nice, plenty of food, all good, right? So the story could not begin a grasshopper was hopping about. It couldn't begin this way. We need to know where. In a shed where there was plenty of grain, or in a place which is insecure, where things change, where danger lives. So danger lives in a field. But today, it's not too bad. Today is summer. Oh, really? So they are now in a dangerous place where things are good and sometimes are bad. But today, things look pretty good. It's a summer. And so Grasshopper is really happy. He's hopping about, really happy. But now I have a question to you. Why didn't the author just write, in a field one summer's day, a grasshopper was hopping about? Why didn't the author just write this? Why did they have to say chipping and singing to its heart's content? Why did it have to do that? Why did the author have to add chirping and singing to its heart's content? Why do we have that? I mean, we have understood now that the field was important, right? Where? In the place where danger lives. Field is a good place to be in summer, but in winter, it's a terrible place. But today, there's abundance, happiness. It's summer. So we could have just said a grasshopper was hopping about. That would do the job. Why is the author saying chirping and singing to its heart's content? Why do we have that? Neri, I will help you. I'll ask you here for help. Can you pull students and ask them to help us have a discussion?
Okay, let me do it then. Tatya, would you mind giving me your opinions about this? So why do the author use the phrase chirping and singing to the heart's content like that?
Excuse me, teacher.
We see the sentence that she just highlighted. It's not highlight, but inspiration color. So here is chirping and singing. So why do we have to add it on?
Chirping and singing.
Yeah, chirping here. You see, chirping and singing to its heart content. You see that the first sentence?
Yes, teacher, I see. So in the field of one summer day, a grasshopper was hopping about, chirping and singing. I have no idea about that, teacher.
Right.
So
right, because if you were thinking only about grammar, right, that was not necessary. The author could have just said was hopping about. But texts are not just about grammar, are about meaning. So what's being communicated here?
Can I have ideas?
Yeah.
An idea. I think the sentence displays, I mean, it's not literal meaning, but it is illiteral meaning. I mean, metaphorical meaning, because grasshopper likes to, I mean, grasshoppers do not care anything, just to be happy, and don't think about the future, don't think about the next season that will come. Okay, they are just want to be happy, enjoy their life without thinking of all the future.
Okay, but why did the author add these words, chirping and singing to its heart's content? Why do we have those words?
I think they just want to give more an idea to emphasize more about the sentence. Mean that the grasshopper did not think about anything in the future, so they just put that in order to emphasize.
Okay, so I think that we could do without those words, but what it does, those words express to us that he wasn't just hopping about, but he was hopping about happily. Like you were saying, right? Not just happily. It was just all pure joy. So the chirping and singing is describing the mood of the grasshopper. He wasn't just hopping about, but describing more precisely the mood of the grasshopper. So we could do without, but we wouldn't know that the grasshopper was absolutely delighted, just, you know, totally enjoying the summer's day, right? So that's what was the author is communicating to us, the emotion of total bliss. Bliss is the word. Okay, I'll type it here so you can see. Bliss, total bliss. So the grasshopper is blissful, totally blissful. Oh, I am so happy. I'm hopping about and I'm chirping and singing to my heart's content as much as I can. All right, so now we can see what we are learning here, that a text, I want to finish the class today on this particular note, so I'll just show you something and I will take it a little bit further next time we see each other. So when you write your stories, some things you need to think about. The title somehow has to speak to the intention of your story. Why are you writing the story? And using the grasshopper's fable, we learned that the story was told to communicate a lesson, right? The story was told to communicate a lesson, a moral. And the moral here was a lesson about attitude to life, and therefore the title had two attitudes to life, two perspectives on life. This is why it had the end in the title, and it also had the grasshopper in the title. So we learned that titles cannot be just arbitrary about anything. It's important that the title grabs the reader, and here the idea was what connects the character of the ant and the character of the grasshopper. What connects it? The contrast. It's the contrast, the opposition that connects them. One is a planner, the other one is not. So that was the title. So that's what we were learning. Intention, which is in the moral. The players are here, two perspectives on life. And as we agreed, these two perspectives needed to be somehow present in the title. We don't know how you will do it, but here, that's how it was solved, by putting the grasshopper and the ant in the title to show that these two perspectives, it is what the story is about. The story is about these two perspectives. But that's the first lesson for today. The second lesson for today is that, yes, we didn't have to say in a field one summer's day to be grammatically correct. But we have these words on purpose in order to communicate to the reader the context of a story. And the context is field, which means danger. Things go up and down in nature. Field means nature, right? And nature sometimes is good to us, sometimes it's not. Today, great weather, tomorrow is a storm, right? So in a field, dangerous place. But today, it's all good. So we learned that even though a text may be shorter and still will be grammatically correct, we need to think which words to put in in order for the reader to have all the information necessary to understand, to make the most out of the text. We will do some more work next week, but notice here we have summer and here we have winter. So the author didn't have to write in summer's day right in the beginning. But if they do, we clearly see the scene. We can imagine the scene. Oh, it's summer, it's beautiful. So when the writer talks about winter, we are not surprised. Time passed, things have changed. And also here, we could have done without it. Hopping about is already an attitude of happiness. Oh, I'm hopping about. It's already an attitude of happiness and carelessness. But the author wanted to strengthen it and added more words. They were not necessary, but they communicated better, stronger, the attitude of being happy, joyful, hopping about, careless. Why bother about tomorrow, right? So grammatically, we can have short texts, but we need to maybe think of words we use. So we prepare the reader for what's happening about. Niri, what did you want to say?
No, I have nothing to say.
Okay, so I will show you one slide here. I will not talk about it today much more because we're finished for today. But notice, in a field, it's the context, nature, danger. And then we have contrast one. So the grasshopper, carelessness, and there are word groups that describe the grasshopper, hopping about, chirping, singing to its heart's content, right? Being carefree. And the end is the second contrast, the second perspective, as someone said it, right? Two perspectives, the end. And we will talk more about it next week when we see each other. But we are getting the message, right? We use words on purpose. Pardon me. We use words on purpose in order to contextualize the story and demonstrate the emotions better for the reader to understand, to get the sense of what the characters are thinking or feeling, right? So yes, for the sake of grammar, we can keep things short, but then the reader doesn't get the feel for what it means to be careless. Oh, what it means to be careless, you just chirp and sing to your heart's content. You just run around mad, right? So that was the message for today, right? So about the titles, title talks to the moral. The title relates to the moral of the story. What's in the story for the reader? The moral is about what's in the story for the reader. Why are you telling this story? It's always best to create something innovative in the school for children to learn better, right? So about the garden with the plastic bottles and old tires. It's always better to create interesting things around the school for children to learn in new and innovative ways. That was the moral of that story. So the idea was in the title to put that somehow, to present the perspective of waste and how working with waste is helping children to learn in innovative ways. So that's what we were working on yesterday. And today, again, we learned that the title talks to the moral, and the objects of the moral were two perspectives. So these two perspectives were in the title. So that's one. And the second one was each word is there in the text for a reason, real reason. Yes, we can have less words, but then we don't know whether it was in a field or somewhere else. We don't know whether it was summer or spring. We don't know how happy was the grasshopper. All right, my friends, I'll see you next week, and we will chew through all that, this text and other texts. We'll be learning things. The purpose is for you to see more how much is happening in text, so that when you create your own text, you can start thinking here. And you're doing a lot of good thinking. I'm thinking that you're doing a lot of good thinking, because the websites were fabulous, just fabulous. Thank you so much for making these websites so interesting and so reflecting our classes together. So I finished, Miri.
Dr. Ania, can I have a talk with my students a little
Absolutely.
bit? Absolutely. តិចទាំងអស់គ្នាបន្តិចគឺចាស់សាលាហើយមកជាក្រុមយើងថ្ងៃហ្នឹងដូចជាបាត់ច្រើនម្ល៉េះយើងមានតែ10នាក់ជាងឥឡូវហើយពីមុនហ្នឹងបានតែ20នាក់ជាងគឺស្រុកទាំងក្រុមមួយផងពួកគាត់ទៅណាទៅសាលាចាអ្នកគ្រូខ្ញុំអត់ដឹងដែរដោយសារពាក្យច្រើនបាទនិយាយដែរអ្នកគ្រូហ្នឹងហើយបាត់តែណាគ្នាយើងបានតែអ្នកទៅនៅខាងក្រុម2ហើយអញ្ចឹងទៅពិបាកក្នុងការចូលរួមជាមួយគាត់អញ្ចឹងយើងអត់មានការពិភាក្សាគ្នាឆ្លងឆ្លើយពីក្រុមមួយទៅក្រុមមួយអញ្ចឹងវាទៅជាបញ្ហាទៅវិញអញ្ចឹងណាព្រោះយើងមកនេះគឺដើម្បីជួយឲ្យយោបល់គ្នាទេហើយបើមិនជាយើងអត់ចូលរួមអញ្ចឹងវាអត់ទៅមុខទេហើយឥឡូវអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំសូម4ក្រុមទៀតសម្រាប់សប្តាហ៍ក្រោយអ្នកណាគេស្ម័គ្រចិត្តសម្រាប់បង្ហាញព្រោះអីយើងបង្ហាញគឺដើម្បីបានមតិយោបល់ត្រឡប់មកវិញក្នុងការកែលម្អបើមិនជាយើងអត់បង្ហាញទេយើងអត់ទៅមុខកើតទេព្រោះហ្នឹងតែយើងធ្វើទៅមានកន្លែងណាឆ្លោះប្រហោងអញ្ចឹងណាអញ្ចឹងក្រុមទាំងពីរហ្នឹងក្រុមណាដែលស្ម័គ្រចិត្តសម្រាប់សប្តាហ៍ក្រោយដើម្បីខ្ញុំណូតឲ្យទុកឲ្យគាត់ស្បានដឹងពីខ្លួនទុកជាមួយអញ្ចឹងណាគ្រូមេក្រុមខ្ញុំអត់ឃើញចូលហ្នឹងគ្រូសុគីហ៎មនីរាជហ៎បាទចាហើយរីឯងហើយនៅ ready នៅសម្រាប់ខ្ញុំគ្រូតារាសវណ្ណតារាគាត់ធ្វើគាត់ធ្វើឲ្យដល់គ្រូណាគ្រូតែចឹងឥឡូវសប្តាហ៍ក្រោយខ្ញុំអាចយកក្រុមរៀបបានអញ្ចឹងដើម្បីបង្ហាញខ្ញុំបាទហ្នឹងគ្រូជាមួយខ្ញុំសួរវណ្ណតារាគាត់កម្មកម្មហ្នឹងហើយប៉ុន្តែឲ្យគាត់រៀបចំទៅជាមួយស្អែកនឹងនិយាយបន្ថែមទៀតជាមួយនឹងក្រុមយើងអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំដាក់ក្រុមលេខ1ណាបាទគុណច្រើនចាបន្ទាប់ទៀតមកចិត្តមករាខ្ញុំមិនឲ្យមករាស្ងាត់ជ្រាបត្មងខ្ញុំហៅអត់ឆ្លោតឬអត់សួរអត់ស្ដីមករាទៅណាក្រុមខ្ញុំហៅឯតែអ្នកគ្រូជាមួយរតនាអ្នកគ្រូអូចាតែមុនហ្នឹងមិនក៏ស្ងាត់ជ្រាបអញ្ចឹងអត់យល់មុនហ្នឹងឆ្លោយតែអ្នកគ្រូតែដល់ពេលអត់សូវយល់ទៅខ្ញុំដាក់ថា I have no idea នឹងឯងតំពុតចម្លើយយើងឆ្លើយវាអត់មានខុសមានអីទោះបីទៅណាក៏ដោយក៏ជាចម្លើយរបស់យើងដែរអញ្ចឹងវាអត់បញ្ហាទេអញ្ចឹងព្យាយាមឆ្លើយចូលរួមផងអរគុណច្រើនមេងស្វាគមន៍មេងអត់ឃើញចូលរួមសោះមេងតឹងរងចាំមេងពី3ម៉ាត់ក៏អត់លឺដែរតែមេងបានមេងក៏ចាំសាមរាយចង់ឆ្លើយទីថាដោយសារមេជាមួយក្រុមរបស់យើងទូគាត់បង្ហាញតិចបាននេះពេករបស់យើងហ្នឹងហៅអ្នកគ្រូចាខ្ញុំសុំមេងមិនទៅវិញលៀងមេងបាទអ្នកគ្រូអូខេហ្នឹងហើយមេតែពិតactive ដែរហើយអត់ទៅមាត់អត់ទៅកខ្ញុំក៏មិនដឹងហៅអ្នកណាគេឲ្យចូលរួមឆ្លើយយូរទៅខ្ញុំចង់ឆ្លើយទៅវិញវាអត់មានអ្នកចូលរួមអញ្ចឹងអរគុណមនីដែរដែលបានជួយឆ្លើយជួយអីទៅវិញទៅមកអញ្ចឹងកាត់ពេលកាត់យើងសំនៀងក៏ដូចគ្នាដែរចាំតែស្ដាប់តែមកទីឆើខ្ញុំថៃអត់មែនតើហ្មង តើឥឡូវពុទ្ធាមិនដែរពុទ្ធាសប្តាហ៍ក្រោយអូខេពុទ្ធានៅមួយខ្ញុំតែអត់ចេញទៅបាត់ហើយពុទ្ធារត់បដ ாய் ហៅចុះហៅឡើងច្រើនពេកពុទ្ធារត់ហើយដល់សិលារត់គេនៅសល់ក្នុងពីពុទ្ធាគាត់រៀនម៉ោងក្រោយរៀនថាធម្មអូចាសិលាអ្នកណាគេក្រុមយើងទៀតលីតាក្រុម2ទៅហេតលីតា
ចាអ្នកគ្រូ
ហ្នឹងហើយលីតាក៏ស្ងាត់ដែរខ្ញុំមកអត់លឺសូម្បីតែតិច
តនសូវយល់អ្នកគ្រូអត់តនហើយដែរក្រុមខ្ញុំអត់តនបានជុំគ្នាផងអ្នកគ្រូ
ចា
ថាមិនចឹងអ្នកគ្រូមួយពីរអ្នកទៀត
ចាអញ្ចឹងអត់តនបានឡើយអូខេអត់អីទេចឹងមានអ្នកណាគេទៀតអាចស្ម័គ្រចិត្តបានខ្ញុំតែបាន2ក្រុមទេចឹងសូម2ក្រុមទៀតមើលភានីហើយនៅសុភានី
យ៉ាច្រើនខ្ញុំក្រុម1មករានឹងរតនាតាច្រើន
ចាអញ្ចឹងរួចហើយអូខេអត់អីទេ
ហ្នឹងហើយចាញ់ស្ម័គ្រចិត្តមួយទៅចាញ់ស្ម័គ្រចិត្តមួយទៀត
អូខេហ្នឹងមនីអរគុណច្រើន
តែគោឥឡូវជួបពោះគោទៅតិចឆ្នាំទៅគោ
ចាអរគុណច្រើនមនីជួយ
អរេបោកឯងមិនទិញឆ្នាំទេជួបគេទេជួបពោះណានិយាយ
នេះសំពីខ្ញុំដល់ក្រោយ
អ្នកគ្រូហៅខ្ញុំមិនអ្នកគ្រូ
អើយហៅសំនៀងមិនដែរ
ខ្ញុំចាំមើលខ្ញុំភាសាមួយក្រុមខ្ញុំសិនអញ្ចឹងអត់តន់ប្រាំពិឈើទេចាំមើលខ្ញុំមិនប៉មពិឈើតាមក្រោយ
អូខេអញ្ចឹងបានន័យថាឥឡូវហ្នឹងខ្ញុំបានតែ3ក្រុមទេអញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាមិនមកសប្តាហ៍ក្រោយហ្នឹងខ្ញុំនឹងសួរបញ្ជាក់ឲ្យបន្ថែមឲ្យបានគ្រប់គ្នាទៅណា
បានអ្នកគ្រូជួបស្អែកអ្នកគ្រូជួបអ្នកគ្រូស្អែក
ជួបថ្ងៃស្អែកហ្នឹងហើយសិលាអត់តន់ ready នៅឡើយទេណោះសិលាបង្ហាញបានអត់ចុះសិលាទៅបាត់មែនសិលាជប់ខ្ញុំហើយហ្នឹងហើយ
អ្នកគ្រូសិលារត់ចោលអ្នកគ្រូដែរ
ចោលដែរជួយឆ្លើយជឿអីសួរច្រើនពេកហ្នឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងអរគុណទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលបានចូលរួមហើយសង្ឃឹមថាសប្តាហ៍ក្រោយបើសិនជាក្រុម2គាត់បត់បង្ហាញសូមក្រុម1គាត់ធ្វើការផ្ដល់ជាមតិត្រឡប់មកវិញហើយបើសិនជាក្រុម1គាត់ធ្វើបត់បង្ហាញក្រុម2គាត់ជួយមកវិញផងដើម្បីយើងមានការឆ្លើយឆ្លងនេះទៅវិញទៅមកអញ្ចឹងអាចធ្វើបាននេះគ្នាយើង
អត់ទេ
ចាស្កាត់ជ្រាបអត់ឆ្លើយទៀត
អត់ជ្រាប
រៀងក៏អត់លឺយ៉ាងគេយ៉ាងឯងរៀង
ស្ងាត់ចឹងមិនដល់គ្រូហៅតែម្នាក់ឯងនិយាយតែម្នាក់ឯង
ហ្នឹងខ្ញុំនិយាយតែម្នាក់ឯងសង្ស័យទៅវិញខ្ញុំដាក់ដកបន្ទុកម្នាក់10ម្នាក់20ហើយមើលទៅឲ្យខ្ញុំនិយាយម្នាក់ឯងអញ្ចឹងអស់ចាយ៉ាង
ចាហ្នឹងបង្កើតគ្រូអាចបង្កើតខ្លួនឯងផ្ទាល់មួយតែឯងបាត់មានក្រុមបានហ្នឹង
ហេកុំតាន់អាម្នាក់ឯងហ្នឹងគង់បានបង្កើតសំខាន់3អ្នកធ្វើមិនទៅតែមកម្នាក់ឯងទៀត
នេះខ្ញុំអត់មានចង់រៀនពីអ្នកគ្រូអាចារ្យបង្កើតម្នាក់ឯងដើម្បីខ្ញុំបង្កើតដាក់តែឯងអត់មានក្នុងសិក្សាទេអត់ទេខ្ញុំថាចៅក៏ខានណាគ្រូ
អូខេអត់អីទេចាចាំធ្វើការងារនេះឲ្យហើយគេមួយសិនណាធ្វើអាហ្នឹងចប់ហើយចាំយើងចង់ធ្វើមិនក៏បានដែរអញ្ចឹងណា
អញ្ចឹងណាគ្រូបាន
ចាកុំឲ្យការងារគេនៅផ្ទះរាំងភាសាយើង
ស្អីមើលភាសាមួយតារាម្ដងទៅអ្នកគ្រូនៅជនហៀតារាសិនមេអញ្ចឹងគាត់ពិបាកចម្រុងដល់
ហើយតារាអត់ឃើញមកជនហៀក៏អត់ឃើញមកនៅសល់រីកឯងហ្នឹងឯងមេហ្នឹងគេទៀត
មេមិនយល់បន្តិច
សំបីតាទឹកចា
ក៏រស់ចាថែមបន្ទុកមកបន្ទុកទៀតសាយប្រុសចឹង
អញ្ចឹងសុំម្ដងទៀតដែរយើងសប្តាហ៍ក្រោយហ្នឹងមានបទបង្ហាញសូមឆ្លើយឆ្លងទៅវិញទៅមកណាកុំឲ្យស្កាត់អញ្ចឹងទទួលបានទាំងអស់គ្នាណា
ចាបានទេតែខ្ញុំចូលខ្ញុំនឹងទៅបានហើយអីចាំទឹកក្រោយខ្ញុំចូលរួមច្រើន
Dr. Ania. Dr. Ania, thank you very much for this time. I have already informed my student, and next week we are gonna have 3 more groups to present their website.
Oh, good. Beautiful. And we can start drafting those stories slowly and making them better and better.
Yes, I will inform them then.
Learning from these classes here. Well, that's magnificent. So, Neri, are you done?
Yes, finished, done.
Okay, so we can close the session now?
Yeah, we can close. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, and I will send you the link shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Nicole. Hello, teacher.
Yes, what's happening?
Yeah, so can I help me? Help me? I want to talk with your teacher personal.
What would you like to do?
I want to know about your Facebook or Telegram.
We are on
Teacher?
Telegram. I'll show you where we are.
Because I want to study English with you.
Okay, just 1 second.
Can you help me?
Yeah, my Facebook you want?
Yeah.
My Facebook.
Okay, Facebook. Okay, I see. Okay, thank you, teacher. Yeah, I will chat to you later.
Okay, darling. Okay, see you guys. Okay, thank you so
Yes,
much. Find
thank
me
you.
there.
Oh, thank you, teacher. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, bye-bye.